Have I told you guys the story of how I got my first job in the United States? I was coming from Boston. I was in an Uber, and there's this Indian guy who was driving a Toyota sedan. I think it was a 2020 or 2019 model. Nothing impressive, nothing shouting, nothing flashing well. And he asked me, "Hey, where are you coming from?" I said, "I'm coming from Boston. I was there for the weekend." And he said, "Oh, okay, I hear an accent. Where are you from originally?" Yeah, of course, that's a normal question you expect when you are living in the United States and you've not yet learned how to code switch between the accents. Some people found it irritating. I actually didn't find it irritating. I just used the opportunity to chat the guy up. And I told him I'm a Rotary Peace Fellow. I'm in Little Rock for a Rotary Fellowship. I'm a Global Grant recipient. And he said, "Oh, cool. He said, "I actually once lived in Uganda. Do you know Kiswahili?" I said, "Oh, najua Kiswahili, naelewa Swahili." Actually, Swahili ndo lugha nilianza kuongea na nichingali mtoto. Was the first language I spoke as a child. Because nyumbani tulikuwa tunaongea Kiswahili. Akasema, sawa. This was a guy who was, then he told me about his portfolio. He said he rides Uber and Lyft so that he can meet new people. And that he enjoys, striking conversations with strangers, because America, if you live there, it's a very, very, very lonely place and actually boring, because all the fun activities, let me not dwell into that. So he said he rides Uber because he likes to strike up conversations with people and meet new people, but he is actually a businessman who owns a hotel and a restaurant, and that his son owns a restaurant as well, and his daughter-in-law owns one of the international hotel chains in Little Rock, the franchises. So he said, yeah, if you ever need a job, let me know. I know you are a student and you're an international student. You could be looking for something to see you through, because I know school fees is not, I know you have a scholarship, but the scholarship is for school and books, but it's not for, thriving and being able to book a flight here and there and maybe take care of business at home. And I said, asante sana. Nikamwambia kwa Kiswahili, asante sana mzee. So the next day I called him, I texted him, "Are you available for a call?" I called him and I told him the things I'm able to do, and he was like, "Yeah, let me look around in my businesses. There's a place for you." So I called him on a Monday, because I was coming from Boston. I called him on a Tuesday, and by Thursday I had a job. And we were 8 Africans in my class. So they all didn't have jobs, and most of them didn't have scholarships. I was lucky, I was among the 2 who had scholarships. So nikampigia, I called him, and he gave all of them jobs. Up to now, those guys still text me and tell me, "Brahim," the Ugandan, because I used to say Brahim wa Chirendero. That's how I used to introduce myself. They say Brahim wa Chirendero from about job Nigeria. Another one was from the Gambia. The other one was from where? Tanzania. So yeah, I got them jobs like that. And also, but me, I stayed in that job for 2 months because it was encroaching on my school time and I needed something more flexible. And so I got another job, still through kujikaza na kujituma, like being proactive. My friend Edric calls it the Kirindiro spirit. The Kirindiro spirit. We are proactive na here in Uganda, it might but when you go out there, as a newcomer, you're a student, if you don't know kujituma, kujikaza, you're doomed, because no one is going to do for you anything. These things of help me apply for this, no one. You're on your own. That's why each time I see someone trying to go overseas and they're asking you to apply for me this, I'm like, you're not yet ready to go. It starts here. You need to be able to do things for yourself, everything. That's when you'll be able to survive in those countries, when you get a chance to go there. So that's how I got my first job as a student, and that's how I got my fellow classmates jobs, my African classmates, to be able to support themselves through school.